Welcome back. So we did this Euro USD trade breakdown in full. It's a long video. Now I'm gonna do a recap of the actual entry. So it's gonna be a much shorter video. And for example, if people say like, I have my key areas marked out, but I'm just getting my entries wrong, or I don't know how to enter. For example, if when they learn about order block, support, resistance, trend lines, trend, order blocks, point of interest, fair value gaps, they're thinking I need to know how to enter. So this is going to be a quick trade recap about how I enter. So I'm not going to explain the higher time frames because I did explain this in the full trade recap. The trade will recap will be it's the same exact name as this. I will name this the exact same, except this will be called probably like trade entry and then the date. So you just have to open the playlist where the trade recaps are all and just match it basically, and then you can rewatch just the entry part. Also, I do have a free Discord if you want to join. We got a lot of traders in there, good traders in there, posting wins, talking about trading, having fun. Also, it's not just only trading; it's everything. So it's a good community. If you'd like to join, just comment and or copy and paste the link in the description. Okay, let's get into the video now. So, um, from where we can start. Okay, so basically Frankfurt opened, and I did say that there was a chance that I'm looking for sells because the trend for me was very, very, very bearish. But I did say that because of that, a bullish buy could happen. So I had Frankfurt open in here, and obviously you have nice movement. We broke down during the Frankfurt Open, so this is sorry, no, this is actually now London. So Frankfurt, yeah, Frankfurt swept liquidity to the downside, and it didn't sweep any liquidity to the upside. So you have to wait for liquidity to be swept. This is the first liquidity point, be like in Frankfurt that is decent or major, um, or this high. So none of the highs got swept good, and then it kept rising. So then it went above the Asia high, as we had this marked out before. I think, yeah, this is the Asia high. We wicked Asia high, but we never did any good entry models off the Asia high. We closed above it, retested, went above. So then from there, what do you see? You see Asia got broken out. This is not gonna probably be a it's probably not going to be a sell, except then where the entry is, it did go up into a fair value gap in here, and on the 1 hour time frame, it was close to my POY in here. Um, since I was in the fair value gap, and we did sweep this wick, which is a high. No, we didn't actually sweep it. Never mind. I'm just making sure. The Frankfurt was here till 9. Yeah, so no, we didn't sweep the high just yet. Even this would be the next 15-minute high. After the session high, this is the 15-minute high. So I'm gonna draw it in orange or yellow. Yeah, I have a yellow. So from here, what we have is Frankfurt closed above New York. So Asia high got swept, and that 15-minute got swept. And also, I did mark out another 15-minute in here. Was it a 15-minute that I marked out? No, I marked out the POY actually. Yeah. So that means the 15-minute got swept. Then we have the next 15-minute. That's where I said you have a 15-minute and you have a 15-minute plus or minus breaker, but there's a better breaker above. It's the most recent one. So there was just some things in my mind that were like, it's good enough to potentially sell it. So then from here, what we're looking at is here. We broke through Asia high. We swept that liquidity point that I've marked on the 15, and then we hit the 1 hour POY. This line here is the POY. So then after this was a liquidity taken, and this is the look now because I just want to make sure it's the 1 hour POY. Yeah, so it's the start of the 1 hour point of interest. Is the 3 blocks up. I marked the bottom of the body of the most last before the rise. And then from there, now we get into the entry. So since I was kind of bearish and I had a bearish feeling, after that got taken, it showed good signs for a drop. So in the drop, what I had was a market structure shift in there and then a breaker structure shift to continue. But we swept the liquidity here, and we haven't swept liquidity from the upside to go down now inside the entry. So for me, I would need this high to be swept in here for my first point of liquidity. So before this gets swept, there's a chance that the market is not going to go. It needs to sweep this to confirm the market good for me. So then we swept this liquidity. We made a good POY to the upside. We reacted, went higher, swept the liquidity, went down, went up again, and touched this POY. And this POY does have liquidity before it. So these wicks are pretty good. But and yeah, to be fair, that's the whole point. When it wicked the POY after sweeping the liquidity two times and created this down candle, how I did say I entered a sell position, I was probably entering something like this. I I entered on my second account a trade like this, which you can see it consolidated and did absolutely nothing. So then what we had was this big breakout from the consolidation, because as you can see, we tapped the POI down here, we tapped it and went up after sweeping this liquidity, showing me that there's now potential for the buys. Then we accumulated and we dropped, like jumped high a lot and broke through this high again. So right now we're failing to go down, we're only going up. So then from here I have this POI drawn out. The trade goes down and again it goes up, goes down, breaks structure to the upside, so market structure shift, break of structure, whatever, making this low in here a liquidity point for price to sweep, hit the POI in here, and react. So as you can see, we have a big down candle volatility. It closed inside, which potentially you could say invalidates the POI because it closed inside, but because there was so much volume and there was three dojis, clearly there was no volatility in the market, and then it just dropped. So the close is not bad. So then you could have entered on the first reaction here, which was not a bad entry. The first reaction, I waited, the price dropped down a little bit, and after it went under that liquidity point, it made a second big wick up, and this is where I entered. I entered my buy in here on this wick. Stop loss a bit tighter because it's already touched the POI. I put it here or under it there, and then just held on to the ride, and there you go. You can easily, in just maybe 15 minutes, you could have made 1 to 5. So if you risked €100, you would have made €500. So that is the entry on Euro USD shortened.